Working on artwork and looking at artwork takes you away from the reality of the world, and I love it. The creativity is just brilliant. My name is Shane. I do heat press collages, which is a mixture of art, photography, ink work and heat pressing onto canvas. There's a huge amount of inspiration coming from the landscape of Norfolk, from the sea to the buildings to like the stately homes that are about here. Everything is just brilliant when I do my collage work, sort of taking little bits of it, the landscape, nature, all of the little things that I enjoy of the area. So when I start, I get bits of paper and I soak the paper and I drop inks into them. And the inks that I use are photographic retouching inks. They're a chemical process. And when the inks like sort of mix with the water, they have reactions and sit on top of the water. Almost like sort of marbling at the front and back of books. And once I rephotograph that, then I'll add it into the image that I'm working on. So here is a photograph of the Customs House building in Kings Lynn. This is adding in the inks, and I've added like sort of extra bits in to make it more interesting, but I decided that that is far too busy and I've reduced it down to this. And this is almost like sort of a technical drawing that I've done over the top of it because I want to bring out the windows, I want to bring out like sort of the details of how symmetrical the building is. I've scribbled and scribbled and scribbled, and there's lots and lots of paint layers that go with it. Those are just there to like sort of distract around the outside because it gets too busy. Once I bring it back, I bring back the technical side of it there. And then I'll add something quirky maybe by adding a zebra in there. Once you put all of that together, you're getting to this sort of stage of the artwork where I've added extra colours, making it more vibrant, taken away like sort of the parts around the outside which are not interesting to the final image. And then you'll get to like sort of something like this near the end. This will be tweaked and worked on. There'll be more ink work. A final stage where I'm doing original bits of work. I'll print it onto very thin film and then I'll collage that underneath a heat press. I do that in little stages. And when you're doing all of that process, you'll finally get to something like this as an end result. The vividness that I want from those retouching inks, the parts of it when you go in close, you can see the drawings that I've done. You take out all of the uninteresting things in the world and just leave yourself with the bits which are the part of the reality that's there, but also a huge amount of your imagination that's going with it. At the moment, I've been doing a project about round tower churches. The round tower churches are very dominant in Norfolk. At the moment, I'm probably on about 26, 27 now. The round tower churches are great. I've discovered that there's over 100, so I'm not going to stop doing that anytime soon. My work's been taken on by the Red Dot Gallery up in Holt. The first bit of work that Colin, who runs that, saw was Salthouse Church. And it's just such a stunning setting. You can do so many images of it. I've probably done about 5 or 6 different artworks of Salthouse. It's not a round tower church, but it still has a spectacular sort of place in the landscape. I get into themes and I really enjoy the themes of what I'm doing. Got a project where I do a picture with old 1960s wallpaper and a red balloon in front of it. And each time that I do a new red balloon, I do a different one. I only ever print it once and I will end up doing 99 red balloons. And 99 red balloons is one of my favourite projects of just going, okay, I've got to free up my mind, I've got to get ready to be able to draw, and I've got to be able to get into the swing of doing something. So the enjoyment factor is, it's just losing yourself in a bit of artwork. Delve into it and you can just disappear. And when your imagination like sort of takes over, that will be the place where you want to end up. the final result. You go through the process to get to that point, and it can take you down different avenues. Just making those choices of bits of colour, bits of ink, drawing on top of it, different ways of just going, this is where I want to be, this is where I want to be at this moment. Producing artwork and creating artwork is part of me, and it's absolutely necessary. I don't think I could probably cope with the rest of what goes on in the world if it wasn't for the fact of having that outlet of being able to create something and using that process to like sort of keep you mentally sane, really. I think that is the enjoyment of creativity. That's the enjoyment of artwork, I think, for looking at it and for producing it.